Hey, I'm Roland with Mobile Geeks, and this is our unboxing of the Huawei Ascend Y550. This is one of the first, if not even the first, 64-bit capable smartphones that is coming out to the market, because this is running the new Snapdragon 410, which is a 1.2 gigahertz quad-core SoC from Qualcomm that is capable of 64-bit computing, and it has an Adreno 306 graphics part in here. So it's basically a let's call it mid-range SoC. It even has LTE support, and the Huawei Ascend Y550 is special in the way that this thing only costs 130 bucks. I paid 129 euros at a local electronics market, and that is pretty darn cheap. I guess in the US the pricing should be around 130, and you get quite a bit for that, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's just quickly get it out of the box. So there you go. As you can see, it has quad-core 1.2 gigahertz right on the phone itself. I'm just going to quickly pull this out of the foil, and yeah, there you have it. It's a 4.5-inch smartphone. I'm just going to put this to the side for a second so we can go deeper down into the box. So here we have the 2000 milliamp hour battery. So that's pretty decent for a 4.5-inch device, close to the Moto G in this case. You even get a headset with it. So this is the black model, but this is just a basic in-ear plugs, not anything special, no noise cancellation, or yeah, I'm probably going to throw that out because it is not going to be the best. We have the power adapter right here, and let me just see how fast this should charge. It's a 1 amp device, but the phone will also be able to run on 2 amps, so that will make sure you can charge the device within less time, because those 2 amp chargers usually take a bit longer. And deeper down in the box you get a standard micro USB cable as usual, plus a warranty card and this small booklet that has the quick start guide in a bunch of languages for Europe in this case. Now let's talk about the phone. They showed this off at IFA 2014, and you should look up our video if you want to see it running already, but I'll get to that later on. Let's peel off the foil, and the 4.5-inch screen on this device only has a resolution of WVGA, so that's 854 by 480. It's an IPS panel, definitely a pretty nice screen as far as I remember from the show floor. This is a single SIM device, so it's not going to be out in Europe at least, and I guess even in the US, with a dual SIM configuration. The whole thing has 1 gig of RAM and 4 gigs of flash storage. I'm just going to quickly peel out the battery from its foil right here, and you just open this up and throw it in here. It goes in this way around. And there you have it. Should be able to turn it on. No, the buttons are on the casing there. Let me just quickly put it back together and turn it on. We're running the Emotion UI from Huawei. The bezels are pretty wide on this, I just realized. You have the volume rocker on the side here. That is all plastic, I guess. The power button is also on the side, even though this is a 4.5-inch device. They're putting the volume rocker on the side. The speaker is on the back right here. At the bottom, you get the standard micro USB port plus the speech mic. This right here is where you open up the casing. Nothing on the left, and on the top you only have the headset jack. On the back, that's the LED flash plus a 5-megapixel camera, so they're saving a bit of money on the camera, I guess. Noise cancellation mic, and that is pretty much it. The whole thing weighs in, I think, at 153 grams, and it is 9.3 millimeters, no, 9.5 millimeters thick, so it's not the thinnest device, but that shouldn't bother me. And that's the starting sound of the Huawei interface. We'll see if that boots up quickly. While it does that, I'm just going to show you the innards of the device, and open it up for that again, if I can actually work this out in time. Now, come on. There you go. So we have a micro SD card slot for storage extension, which is probably going to be heavily used. Now, this is actually the SIM card slot, so there goes a standard micro SIM card, and over here we have the micro SD card slot, because you're going to need that because there's only 4 gigs of onboard flash storage in this device, and there's also a brightness sensor integrated right here, so you don't have to worry about the brightness settings. Well, as you can see, this is the Huawei UI, which is, well, pretty good looking. It's one of the better made UIs on these devices, and I'll be back in a second after entering my Wi-Fi password. So now I got the phone set up, and here we have the Huawei Emotion UI 2.3 that is based on Android 4.4 in this case. Down here it says Android 4.4, so it's the latest version of Android KitKat that came out. I know we're launching Android 5.0, and so let's hope that Huawei will update all of its devices, and especially the cheaper ones, pretty soon. And as you can see from the data right here, so we have the quad-core SoC, 1 gig of RAM, and there is only 1.38 gigs of my 4 gigabytes of flash storage left. So you definitely want to extend the storage on this device because you will run out of space very, very quickly. But SD cards are pretty cheap nowadays. I wish Huawei would have invested in a bit more flash memory, but in this case, well, they probably had to keep the price down. As you can see, there is a resolution of 854 by 480, and the rest is also well known. I just noticed there is no Gorilla Glass on here. I guess I'm thinking this is like Dragon Trail or whatever, some other cheap way of keeping the screen scratch-free, but it attracts quite a bit of fingerprints, so there's no coating on here. And I also noticed that the screen isn't the brightest, but the viewing angles are pretty much decent. As you can see, there is not much of a color distortion going on because this is an IPS panel. So overall, this is a pretty nice device. I mean, we have a VGA camera, I think, on the front, or is it more? Let me just cheat right here. It's a 2 megapixel camera, actually. So that's pretty nice for simple selfies. There are touch buttons down here, capacitive buttons at the bottom right there, which are not illuminated. So that might get annoying after a while, but, well, they're all the same. So if you get used to the device, it will probably work for you. You also get the menu buttons down here. You can set up different widgets. You can get different styles of designs for this interface. So Huawei has definitely been investing nicely on this. It might remind you of other interfaces, for example, well, the iPhones, but overall, it is definitely a pretty neat design on this device. I'm just gonna quickly put my Moto 360 right there so I can give you a quick look at the photo quality. What does it want from me? No GPS for me, please. And as you can see, the quality is pretty decent. Let's just take a quick picture here. Nothing special going on. And let's see what this says. Well, it hasn't really focused, so I'm guessing that the quality on the camera isn't anything that you should get too excited about. Let me just focus right here and get a quick shot again, and let's try and check out what the quality is like. Come on. So there you go. In the middle you can see the posters on my wall right here reflecting. So sharpness seems to be pretty much decent. I haven't really zoomed in, so let's do that too. Well, that doesn't look too bad actually. So the 5 megapixel camera might even be better than the one on the Moto G, for example, but I'll tell you about all of that in our review at mobilegeeks.com, which should be out in a couple of weeks. And for now, that's pretty much it. And if you like what we do on our channel, give us a thumbs up, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. And yeah, we'll see you later. Bye.